Hello, welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, this is where I talk about twin flame process. So I'm just going to put a video out today which is just a bit of an update on I think on what's just happened with the moon that we just experienced in Taurus, and also what we're going to expect from the moon in Sagittarius. So the moon that's coming up, full moon, I think it's the 26th or the 27th of May, or around then, depending where you are. It's a full moon super eclipse in Sagittarius, a super moon, full moon, super moon, total eclipse, lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So it's a really big energy that's coming in again. So just to recap, because in the last video they were saying like it's the moon that we just went through was a really heavyweight energy, like a masculine energy. And you know, I read the energy and then I'm not always sure what that's going to transcribe as in like the physical experience until I experience it myself. But I just say what they're saying, so you know, you can all then know what's coming in that respect in terms of energy. So just to say a little bit about my own process, because how I explain things, what's gone on is that, you know, I've been going through the food thing. It's like a pre-diabetes experience, metabolic syndrome kind of experience. And there's this guy that's out there that does research on anti-aging, longevity, and he takes metformin, which is a drug for diabetes, even though he doesn't have it. And apparently there's research into this drug that says that even if you've got diabetes, if you take this drug, you have an extended lifespan, even compared to people that don't have diabetes. So it's a bit crazy, because I don't really like taking pharmaceuticals for things. I much prefer a natural route. But I had this information come through quite a while ago, and then every time I looked at anything about food and nutrition, they kept talking about it, and everybody's saying that they took it, and all these doctors saying that they took it. And I haven't been to the doctors about what's gone on with me, so I've just dealt with it kind of as it's come up with food and nutrition and that kind of stuff. And then the moon came, and I was having the day after the moon, I get a lot of my intuition about my own process in the shower, in the bath. So I'd had a shower in the morning, actually it was yesterday morning, and as I came out the shower, I had just had this, like, what was running through me was this explanation of what I needed to do next. It was like I was talking to a doctor. So, and then I just booked an appointment with my doctor straight away. And so apparently now I'm going to go in there and give them a list of symptoms that I've had and get that drug, I think, which is really weird. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Also, I then I fasted throughout the moon, 48 hours, and when I came out of it I ate, and then I got all the symptoms again of high blood sugar. So it's like, oh, here we go again. You're just like reminding me of what the symptoms are, so I can go in and talk to the doctor, because now I know again what the symptoms are, and feeling them all again. And then also throughout the moon I had triggers that came in, but I didn't get triggered at all. Manage the triggers in a physical sense, so from a very physical perspective, was managing those in the way that I talked to people, dealt with people, dealt with things, etc. Managerial experience, they're saying that was, of like the physical life, you know, and just being really kind of organised, on top of things, and calling a fact, and that kind of stuff, right, was going on. And the other thing was, so I'm just taking a pause just to let you know that the energy coming through me is coming through really fast and furious. It's like really hard to keep up at the moment with what's coming through in terms of what they're saying and the feeling that's coming through. So so we've got fast moving energy right from now to the next moon basically coming up. And what was this other stuff that they put through me, through my physical experience? Oh yes, so yeah, managing the triggers, but in a so much like more experiential way than ever before, right? Like in a way that they couldn't get a grip at all, these triggers, like not at all, not even a slight foothold. So that's coming up, and of course what comes up in you comes up in them. So if you've experienced that, that's about them dealing with their triggers as well, managing their triggers, coming into power themselves, because your power is their power, your power in your physical experience is their power in the physical experience. So that will have corresponded a little bit where they were showing the masculine energy being really like, like Muhammad Ali, like a leader, they're saying. So anybody that was a leader in a masculine way, basically, or showed out in a masculine way in a physical experience, all those men, masculines that stood up. Could be women as well if they've got masculine energy, let's not rule that out. But anyone that's ever stood up in a, authoritative, like egotistical kind of a way and tried to change the things that are going on in the world, that kind of energy coming through. Quite an abrupt energy, forceful energy. So these things that were coming through me were that experience, but through me. So I guess masculine energy, but just in a very matter-of-fact way. And then last night, after my fasting, and I got this headache start to come on, which is really funny because I didn't drink any wine, and normally I'm straight on the wine as soon as I finish a fast, which is really supposedly really bad. But that's what I normally do, just 1 glass or 2 glasses. But I didn't have any yesterday because I thought I was going to be good. And then this headache started to come on. I went to sleep with a headache. I woke up in the middle of the night with a searing pain going through my head, like a massive, like it was a shooting, searing pain. It felt like my brain was being split in half in the middle of the night. Managed to go back to sleep again, but kept waking up with this headache continually, and then woke up in the morning, had to go back to bed because the headache was still so strong. It was like the migraines that I used to have, which of course is all about his brain, what's going on in his brain. I've done my cards this morning, again they're talking about his brain, and they're talking about basically like what's going on in him inside his brain. So how this corresponds as well is when they showed me like the masculine energy and the toughness and the hardness of the masculine energy and all these archetypes, which I mentioned in the last video, and that is what the masculine energy is. And inside my twin there's this like hardness and this rock hardness, right, of like basically not wanting to go with the heart, like resisting going with the heart and resisting taking action on that, from the masculine energy. That's part of him. And so when this going on with my brain, and it's like this, it felt like breaking through rocks, like the searing pain. And when I got up this morning, I was looking at my cards. It was all about his brain and basically how it is. It's basically like they're talking about splitting the atom, which hasn't really got anything to do with anything in a factual way, but it's just that energy of like crashing through something that is like there's loads of resistance there. So in terms of where we're going towards in this moon that we've got coming up, it's really now about like pushing forward through. It's like the masculine energy pushing through the masculine energy. So if you can see it as inside of you, you've got feminine and masculine, right? And inside of them is feminine and masculine. And inside of you, your feminine part is your soft, earthy, natural part, right? It's your go with the flow part. They're showing me Carole King, that singer from the 70s. She's like an archetype of the feminine energy. She sings songs about love, lost love. Will you still love me tomorrow? This kinds of stuff, right? And it's very languid, and it's very earthy, and it's very natural woman, all that kind of stuff. And Chaka Khan, I am, so she's coming up as well. So basically you've got that inside yourself, right? But you've also got this masculine half of you, which is that really tough masculine energy, which is corresponding to your twin. One of you is ruled by the feminine, that's you, one who's watching this, and one of you is ruled by the masculine, and that's the one that's not watching it. And it's like, when I say like what happened to me with the triggers was that I just really took it on board in a kind of very, I knew there were triggers coming in, but I wasn't in any fear of them at all. No fear. I was like, come on, let's see what's coming, because I know the triggers are coming. And I was looking for them, and I was waiting, but some of them showed up so small. Like, remember I said I was getting slugs in the house. So instead what happened was I came down in the morning of the moon, and I found a little bit of dirt on the floor that I must have, it was funny because I'd hoovered the day before. It's things like that. And I was like, there it is. That's that little dirty mark on the floor, that's what is now reduced, the fear trigger reduced to, in that sense. I had a leak in the roof that's all dried up, fear gone, right? I'm managing my physical experience in a way that's I've never been this kind of like in charge of it before. Won't go into the ways because there's many ways in terms of people that are around me and stuff. And then that's the masculine part, right? When you're not in a fearful energy and you're managing your own physical experience. So that's coming through me, the masculine part, being in charge of the physical experience from that point of view, and no more in fear, right? And in a very matter of fact, like just a bit of like, oh, there's another trigger, you know? And I know I've been through this before, this kind of energy, but it's just getting more bold and it's getting more brave as I've moved through it, through the months. And so that's me, that's him inside of me, right? That's him inside of him as well. And it's almost like the feminine energy being shut down, in a sense, in both of us, and both working from the masculine. But where the masculine before has been fearful, this is not a fearful energy. This is a very bold and brave energy. And it's in me, and it's going to be like that in him. But because I'm the creator, manifester of that, in a physical experience, so I feel the energy, I witness the energy, I'm the one that's creating the energy through my physical experience and how I handle the triggers. It's like where I feel this breaking down a structure inside of him, like pushing through rocks, like mining. They're showing me this like fracking or something like that, where you're just like breaking through a really hard resistance. So that's just really interesting how it's like emerged over the moon as that. Nothing feminine about it. Well, it is a dark half of the moon we just went through, so there wouldn't be, because it's a masculine half of the moon. But we're moving towards the feminine. It's Sagittarius. Sagittarius is wise. Sagittarius is very competent in the physical world. They're a fire sign. Sagittarians, as the fire sign that they are the least volatile of all the fire signs. So Aries is really power driven, right? Really egotistical. Does without thinking. Aries is really just like action first, thinks later. Nothing wrong with that, but we're not in that, right? Then there's Leo, and Leo is kind of like look at me energy, and fiery and kind of authoritative in that way. It wants attention, it wants the limelight, and it's a very not, in a way it's a not doing energy. It's just all eyes on me with Leo. That's how it's fiery. It's like with the gaze of its eyes, it draws people to it for the experience of being in the limelight. So it's not that we're in. We're into Sagittarius, and it's still a fire sign. But when you compare it to the other two fire signs, it is not as obviously fire as they are. It's intellectual, it's mutable, so it likes to think and it likes to talk. It likes to a certain extent, be the one, because it's fire, be the one that is right. Okay, and often is actually Sagittarians, because they're a very intellectual sign and do think a lot, and that, in that mutable energy. So they look at both sides of things and then they come out with an answer, very often are right, and just in more of a kind of quiet and unassuming way than say a Leo or an Aries would be, because like I say, Aries doesn't think first a lot of the time. I know that because I've got an Aries moon. Leo also isn't really, it's not about thought with Leo, it's just about, well, thought is how can I get more attention a lot of the time. Sorry, Leos. Of course, that's all tempered with the different signs that you've got in different houses and stuff like that. And then, so this is like, we're moving into this kind of, like, the archetype of the Sagittarian is a professor in his tower. So, and there's a, like Hogwarts, right, Dumbledore, he's probably a Sagittarian. It's that professor in the tower that's, got his thinking cap on, and is, but it's also like there's a magical energy about Sagittarius because it's really fiery, which fire is magic, right? Making fire is magic. And just think as well, Dumbledore, and he's got that phoenix, and that's his spirit animal, the phoenix. And as well with Sagittarian, it's like holding a light, so it's a light, you know, really about bright light shining in terms of fire, like holding up a torch, and enlightenment they're showing me with that, and but still powerfully moving forward. But it's the energy of moving forward with thought and moving forward with precision, and that's what we're moving into, right? Still very masculine. I believe Sagittarian's a masculine sign. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. I don't actually know from a logical perspective, but I feel it is. Feels like masculine, but not so masculine that it's like really, you know, not as masculine as an Aries and not as masculine as a Leo even, in the energy of it. Also, it's coming into like this, what is a super moon, full moon, super enlightenment, really high enlightenment, about as high as you can get, apart from the sun, which is higher, but then Sagittarians also sun, fire, so there's a representation there as well. And it's a, what was I going to say, eclipse. So it's an eclipse as well, and when it's an eclipse and it's a full moon, it means it's full enlightenment again, because it's eclipsing the dark. It's like, anyway, I can't really explain it, but it's just about more enlightenment as well. So that's that. I'm going to get these cards out now, see what they say about it with the cards. And about what we're coming into and about what we're going through. Because, like I say, we've just been through that quite heavy deconstructing energy, deconstructing the masculine. So it's like bringing it into the feminine, taking it over. 3 of Wands, so that's what's coming, and it's fire. Wands are fire. Creating as well, number 3, growth. 9 of Wands, also fire, and it's the wounded warrior. And it's completion of a masculine cycle in that respect. 9's a completion. And then we've got Ace of Pentacles, which is number 1. So it's a brand new beginning, and Pentacles is the physical world. It's a brand new beginning in the physical world. So we've got this movement of fire. So this 3, got the, just look at the arrow. So arrow representing Sagittarius as well, because Sagittarian is the centaur, right? But pulling back the arrow. So that's what's coming with Sagittarius, is masculine, brand new beginning in the physical world. How that could come in, there's many different versions of that. So we're always looking at reunion for some people and non-reunion for others. So it's a possibility for some that that's be the brand new beginning. Could be a brand new way of just this person acting or feeling inside themselves, becoming a brand new person inside of themselves as well, this masculine. So again, it's like what comes through you is how you know what's happening to them. So as you come into more power and owning more of the masculine energy, they're coming into more power and owning more of the masculine energy. They're becoming more of themselves. And then, you know, all new beginnings come from that. Let's have a look here. We've got 5 of Wands, which is change in vibration. So we're going to have some kind of change in vibration coming in terms of this moon coming as well. So what is it going to bring? Let's look at the centre of the reading. 4 of Wands, which is stability in vibration. So we're looking at stability of vibration in the masculine energy. So masculine energy, stability of their vibration and how it feels inside of them is going to be more masculine, more like in charge of their physical experience, more adamant about being in charge of their physical experience, more like definite about what they want in their physical experience, more I'm going to have what I want in my physical experience, right? Let's just get this one out here. Wisdom, Hermit, so also representing Sagittarius as well, the Hermit. It's that energy of holding the torch. See the man holding the torch, the enlightenment that comes. It's number 9 as well, so it's completion. So I just go back to what I was seeing earlier on today in the readings for me, and like that's, I don't know if you've any of you had it, that sharp pain going through your head last night, or some kind of headache or something like that going on, but this is like cracking of the masculine mental energy. So it's their enlightenment coming through, and you feel it coming through you as some kind of like something going on in your head, basically. So it's what's coming to them is coming through. It's like has to happen in you. It has to be created through what happens in you. Various levels of pain as well. I have to say, nearly split my thumbnail off yesterday, and that was quite painful, along with a headache. So various levels of pain coming through in terms of like bringing that into place inside of them. Transformation, death card, so transforming. You see this new beginning in the physical world, whether it's a reunion or just partial reunion or them coming into a new way inside themselves. But it's about the masculine coming into a new place inside themselves. The transformation is felt through the feminine. So you know what's going on through what you feel. 9 of Wands in your physical body. 6 of Wands, successful vibration. So look what we've got for the masculine. 9 of Wands, completion of their process energetically, because it's a fire wand. 4 of Wands, stability in the vibration, harmony in the vibration, or 4 feet on the ground, everything brought together, physical, mental, emotion, vibration, at the heart of the reading. And then 6 of Wands in what's coming, which is absolute success in the vibration, right? So it's getting what you want then from the vibration and success of the vibration. This is stability, this is having it, this is getting things from it. So it's their vibration that's changing and bringing them into a wiser place where they're going to get what they want. How do they get what they want? They get what they want by reaching out for it. 3 of Wands, what's coming? 2 of Wands. The energetic link is what they're showing there. So it's coming through the energetic link. Let's have a look at what's underneath. Wheel of Fortune, timing. So it's just getting closer and closer to this timing where this is going to evolve into the physical dimension transformation through the wisdom that's coming through. But the wisdom, you know, it's like we got the other thing they talk about, the primal energy that pushes it through. So this fire is like the primal energy. It's also third chakra, which is primal energy. It's where the fear is held, but it's also where your animal instinct is held. So coming through animal instinct. So it's like a no holds barred pushing through into the physical environment through the energetic link, through the two people. So again, you feel it through you. So how much masculine energy are you feeling going on inside of yourself? Because the closer you get to reunion, the more the masculine energy you're going to be feeling. And yes, it goes through stages of loads of stages, but all the previous stages of the feminine energy, where you're feeling like lost and lonely and sad and all that stuff. But the later stages, the second half of the process, you could say, after 0 point, because you got feminine, right? So let's look at it 3 in a 3 of way. You got feminine, and then you got halfway through, you get 0 point. You start hitting 0 point where you just feel good, right? So masculine and feminine balance, and then it seems you move further and further into the masculine. So the end of the process is actually the feminine feeling very, very masculine inside of themselves. And that just comes through as, like I said, a matter of fact way of like, this is life, this is how, no like qualms or quandary about how you deal with a physical life, just like getting on with it and feeling good all the time. So, but it's like that feeling good is 0 point, but you're moving through to like just having more of the masculine energy kind of running through you and feeling it all from a very natural kind of inconsequential kind of a way. Like it's not for anything, it's not so you can like do dangerous acts and it doesn't go out, and it's not this fearful thing. It's just this mastery, basically. It's mastery of the masculine in terms of the feminine. And 4 here, mastery as well. 4's a mastery. So we've got mastery of the energy, timing, Wheel of Fortune, which has been coming up all the time as well for me. Now I'm going to go one more on all of these, and I think I'll start with the 4. Healing, Knight of Pentacles, which is healing. So just like, however you're experiencing that, because you also fully heal on this journey. So you're fully healing mentally, emotionally, and physically, and vibrationally. Your healed vibration is where your optimum vibration. So we've got healing of vibration ultimately, but it comes through like the emotional healing, However you've done that in the past, whatever self-help books you've read, or any kind of looking into any kind of therapies, all these things count. Yoga doesn't mean you have to do them. I'm not telling you to do them, but you will do them at some point because you have to, because otherwise you're just in pain all the time, right? So everybody does that. And then the final physical healing, which is, you know, journey I've just been through, a lot of other people going through it as well. Symptoms coming up, looking at the symptoms, looking what to do with the symptoms, that kind of stuff. Timing, Wheel of Fortune. Let's get another on that. Emperor, masculine made manifest. So that's it. They keep showing him as well all the time. That is the masculine twin made manifest. This is when he's in his power. It's another 4. But this is a 4 of the major arcana. This is where he emerges into the physical. So this is reunion point. So we've got timing, Wheel of Fortune, and we've got reunion underneath. On top of that, the Emperor coming forward. So this is all coming from the healing of the vibration, which you experience. There's nothing here, I said before, that you have to do, right? There's ways to look at it. There's ways to become the broader perspective. But it will happen to you, right? It's just about awareness and seeing what's going on inside of you and seeing all of it from a higher point of view. So it's only ever seeing where you're not meant to be in fear and where you're not meant to be in worry and where you're not meant to be in shame and you're not meant to be in regret and you're not meant to be in unhappiness and you're not meant to be feeling lost and you're not meant to be feeling sad. All this stuff, because ultimately if you know that you're going to reunite with someone, which you are, then why would you feel all those feelings anyway? So that's your faith that you've got to have, because faith is part of this journey. But also the seeing, you're just seeing it all from a higher perspective is also the journey, because you're coming into a much higher perspective. So what's coming through the 2 energetically is that higher perspective, is seeing the vibration and then being organized around the vibration, right? I mean, your vibration is actually around you, but you organize around that. So it's like, well, if I know all this, why would I feel fearful about anything? Why would I be in ego arguing about anything? Because ego is opposite to higher self. So why would I? Why would I not have faith in this? Why would I not let go if I know I'm supposed to let go? All this stuff, right? So it's like all that healing around the vibration. Let's go on the 3 of Wands. 8 of Cups, which is the emotional link. So you're linked emotionally. So your emotions are their emotions, basically. So you feel all that coming to you as well. So you might feel that coming in between the moon we've just had, well, in between now and the next moon. I did notice actually this morning, fleetingly, feeling sad. The only thing I could attach that to, you know, because normally you look at sadness and you look at your physical experience and you're looking for a reason you feel sad, aren't you? And it's actually not that on this journey. So the reason you feel sad a lot of the time is because of the process itself. So it's not about your physical experience, but you're still trying to pin it to that because that's how you can explain how you feel. So when you're practically through this process and you know that, and you're not feeling sad anymore, which I'm not, and I'm not for a long time now, and I start to feel a feeling that's coming up inside of me, like I did earlier, which was sadness. And I'm doing that human thing, which is automatic, that I'm looking around for something in my experience to make me feel that, why am I feeling this sadness? What happened yesterday? There's nothing. I mean, what? I pulled my thumbnail off nearly? That's not going to make me feel sad. I looked at it, I'm laughing. I'm like, well, that's the only thing. Yeah, I had a headache, but I know what that's about as well. So, and that's not going to make me, nor the diabetes thing, because I know I haven't got diabetes. I know I'm just meant to get the metformin for some reason. So it's like, there's nothing there for me to feel sad about. So I know that's him, right? And I know there's a feeling coming through him. That's a good thing. Because if he's feeling that, that means he's feeling that something in his life is missing, right? And that thing is me. So, and honestly, the other thing I just say as well that I felt, because I had that searing pain through my head, and this whole thing with the doctors, is this feeling again of, like really just wanting this to be over now, because just really, it's just like, like how many rocks, you know, there's like rocks that I'm breaking through. If I have to have that headache, oh God, that headache, that searing pain through my head, like I felt like my brain was being split in half, you know. But it is like mining for gold, I suppose. Okay, so But that's not in my head, that gold, that's in his head. So, thick head. Right, the Two of Wands. Oh, God. And there he is, the masculine made manifest, again, in the physical representation, the King of Pentacles. So it is like what's coming through what you're breaking down these rocks, right? Inside the masculine energy is, and the feeling that they've got, that you're feeling, that's coming through you. So if you can't find any reason to attach some sadness in your physical life, like nothing's happened, then I guarantee you are right at the end of the process, because that's them that you're feeling. And the only thing that they've got to feel about at the end of the process is the fact that they're not with you. That's it. There is no more. There is no more. Okay. Ace of Pentacles, transformation, brand new love. Page of Cups, which is new baby steps to new love taking form, taking shape in the physical. So there we have it again, new love taking form. So as far as what's coming with this energy, well, it depends where you're at the process. But if you're feeling all this that's talking about the end of the process, then you're there. And it's got to be this. It has to be, because there cannot be much more left when you start fracking in your head, to be quite honest. And that kind of transformation's going on. Transformation, Death card. Oh my God. Power of the Feminine, Nine of Pentacles. This is when they told me years ago, this is what you have to be, this is what the feminine becomes, the Nine of Pentacles. She stands in the garden in the other packs of cards with higher self on her arm, and she's just in complete power in the physical world, complete power over a physical experience. And that is an observational view from higher self. It's not an egoic perspective, right? In ego, there's fear, there's worry, there's pain, there's arguing. In higher self, there is only broader perspective, and there is an allowance for everything that happens from that point of view, and a loving of everything and an understanding of everything that's happening. Yeah, even loving the fracking in the head. They're saying to me now, even loving in the fracking in the head. Right, so we've got the transformation of feminine coming in, basically, because this is her in her garden. She's a masculine. She's listening to her higher self. That's how feminine she is. She's a masculine. And the masculine emerging as the Emperor underneath. So when the Emperor returns is what they always told me, timing of that. And change in vibration over here, Five of Wands. Reunion, Six of Cups is coming out on top of that. So we've got reunion coming out on top of change of vibration. So as I've always said, it's all about the vibration. Finally, the vibration in the masculine being one that is going to achieve the end result in the physical, which is the masculine stepping forward because they want to, because it's coming through instinct, and it's coming through inner nature, and it's coming through emotion, and a lack of fear. And are just going to get the job done. Because the job is the destiny, right? The destiny that's always out there. That's the job they have to get done. There isn't any other job that they have to get done. It's, and it's coming from higher self through them as well. So it's a feminine as a masculine with higher self on the arm, a broader perspective, which is the hermit, the wisdom, the enlightenment of the Sagittarian, which is a masculine, but it's a masculine of the higher self, like the enlightenment. Corresponds also, Sagittarius corresponds to the central sun. It corresponds to the Hierophant. Anyway, Hermit. Let's get one out on there. Ace of Wands, brand new energy. Brand new. So really big shift point coming in on that moon that's coming in Sagittarius. Really big shift point in terms of wisdom. So it's like, this is like decks cleared, right? Everything cleared. We've got a clearing in the Ace. We've got a clearing in the 9. We've got a clearing because it's hermit, it's wisdom, it's enlightenment. So it's like a great big blast of enlightenment coming through the masculine's brain, fracking in the brain, feeling like you might, if you haven't got your headache yet, maybe you're going to get one if you're at this point where this is going to happen. Maybe it's on its way for you, because this is what's on its way. This is the central line, change of vibration required for reunion. And I think that's it. I'm going to get one more out. Although I don't really need to, but I feel like I'm going to anyway. Oh, that's why I feel like it, because I haven't done these yet. Nine of Wands, masculine energy. Energetic connection again. being pulled towards each other, the devil. So that's what has to be pulled together, and it's coming from instinct. The devil is what they would call the apple in the Garden of Eden, the serpent in the Garden of Eden, right? Like enlisting these two people to come together. Again, it's like instinctual energy. Devil is like chemistry that pulls people together, right? So when he's at the end of his process, he goes with that instinctual urge to go after what he wants in terms of what feels best. And in the masculine, they're not such an emotional sign, you know. Yes, they have emotions, but they're not taught or raised to focus on that. They're taught to not focus on their emotions. So how their emotions manifest inside of them is very much without process, right? So women, feminines I should say, think about their emotions, don't they? They think about, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel about him? What is it that I need to make myself feel better? It's always, with women, it's, you know, once they're aligned with doing that, because some are taken away from it through abuse and stuff, I know I was, but once they start aligning with it, it's about feeling better, right? And making themselves feel better and doing what's necessary in that respect, and really having a, you know, viewing that and coming into being at one with it. But men are not trained or taught to do that, even less masculines. So it's like how they come into doing what makes them feel better is like it just grabs them and it just pulls them forward, and it pulls them forward through their gut, right? Through their instinct. It's just like, it's not really a you know, a thought out thing. It's not that men don't sit around going, let me look at my emotions and why do I feel like this? I'm not saying they don't reflect. They look at, well, why did this happen to me? And, you know, yeah, they feel sorry for themselves because things happen to them because they go with the wrong person and they end up getting hurt and all that kind of stuff. But it's just not a, you know, it's not an inbuilt thing in them that they focus on their emotions in the way that women do. So once they start going after what they want that's going to make them feel better, it's just much more of an instinctual thing. And that's what the devil is. It's instinct. Six of Wands. And this is the physical connection. Eight of Pentacles, the physical connection. So it's being pulled back towards the feminine through the success in the vibration. So again, it's the instinct pulling them forward, basically. So that's it, and I'm going to do one more in here because I like doing one more in the, this is what's coming. Oh look, there we go. King of Swords, the brain of the masculine. So it is a shot of, it is like this moon coming is a super shot of enlightenment through the brain of the masculine. And it is going to, in some cases, bring them right back into reunion. Because they're saying it there, reunion, we've got timing underneath, we've got it made manifest. It depends where you're at in your process, but this is all I can say now because they talk to me at the level of the process I'm at, and I can't seem to get back into the old energy of talking about that old part of the process now because I'm so far through it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to leave you with. And just to say, if you did want a personal reading, I am reading now up until a few days before the moon, whenever that is, probably around the 22nd or something like that, because I will I take time out over the moon just to process my own process, and a few days either side of that moon. All right, so, and that's when I don't read for other people, but apart from that I'm reading, so I'm reading for about a week and a half for people if you wanted to book a session or anything. And I'm only putting this reading out. I don't think I'm going to be doing the mini readings this time just because it's, I really don't have the I don't feel I've got the energy for it, to be quite honest. And I think this reading says everything for everybody about you know, what's going on. I don't think I need to put out those mini readings. I feel like the energy is so strong in terms of what is coming through with just this major moon that it's not really even about that. I think that would actually weaken it would weaken the information because it's not, you know, it's so strong. It's kind of one size fits all with this moon coming, and with the one that we just went through, it's not really, it doesn't need to be watered down into more like looking at readings. Sometimes that can do more harm than good, you know. It can be more like get you in a place where you're just like, not really focused on just one simple piece of information, which is this, right? Which is what's coming in. There's nothing else that we need to be focused on. We just need to know that, well, it's the brain and the masculine, basically. So, just notice if you get a headache like that. Oh, look, and he's just staying there. He's reaching the end of his process. And how you know that? There's only one way you know it, because you reach the end of your process. It's not about anything outside of yourself. It's not about anybody outside of yourself. I've to say again, I say what comes through for my guides. I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm not trying to corrupt anybody's energy. I'm not trying to draw logical conclusions. I'm not working from my ego. So I'm not trying to think about this and give you an answer in a thought form. I'm just opening up to what information comes through and putting it out there. And I suggest that you just listen. Don't get tied up in knots. Don't start worrying. Don't start fretting. Don't start overthinking. Just listen, let go. Something in it might stick with you, right? Something you hear in this, and probably not all of it, but what sticks with you will be for you, I'd imagine. And then, that'll be the thing that you're meant to hear, and the rest is for later, maybe. Because if you're not through the process to where this really relates to this reading, some of it will only relate to you later, right? So you ain't got to worry that, oh, well, that's not me, then that's not me. Just know that it's coming later. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Lots of love, and take care until I'll be back after the moon. Unless I decide somehow get pushed through to come up before, I don't know. Maybe I go with what they tell me to do, so that's all I know. We'll see what happens. Lots of love, take care, bye.